Thanks for joining us on the Coaches Show. I'm Darren Zier, and along with me, as always, is head coach Ross Elves. Also joining us tonight is assistant coach Ian Roberts. The Hastings Broncos actually not traveled. I would make that mistake because they have been traveling the last few weeks, but they actually hosted the last home opener in A.H. Jones Stadium this week. Coach, you opened up conference play against the Vikings from Dana in A.H. Jones Stadium Saturday. Talk about the combination of being 3-0, you're number 2 in the nation, and playing your first conference game on your home turf.
Well, Darren, we're obviously pleased at where we were record-wise, and I think the more important thing is we are getting better every week. I thought we improved quite a bit from the Sioux Falls game to the Peru State game, and then from the Peru game to the Friends game, we played better, and that was our focus this week. How do we continue to improve every week of the season so when we get to the end of the year, when we're playing the key matchups, that we can be playing at the top level. So that's the thing that we really worked on. Obviously, we're glad to be back at home. Had not been at home for the first 3 games. We're excited to get into conference play. We consider ourselves 0-0. We're starting the season all over because now we're in conference.
Okay, before we get into the first half highlights, I want you to talk about the strengths and vulnerabilities that you saw in Dana going into preparation last week.
Well, Dana had a couple things that we thought we could take advantage of. First of all, they had a very young defense, and they looked to us like they were going to play a lot of people tight in the box and try to stop our running game. We thought we might have to go over the top and throw the football against Dana, and we were able to do that a little bit. Offensively, I was scared to death. They probably have one of the best passing attacks in the conference. Their quarterback, Brian Sukup, is a great thrower. They have 2 of the best wide receivers in Jason Mitchell and Joel Carter, and we were awful concerned about their throwing game.
Okay, well, with that said, let's go ahead and have the coaches take us through the first half highlights.
Again, very nice to be at home. We have a great crowd. My goodness, the home stands were full. As a matter of fact, Dr. Borger said that some of the fans had to go over to the visitor side to play or to have a place to sit, and that was kind of nice that we got the nice reception from our people. We're going to start off receiving the football. Dana won the toss. They elected to defer to the second half. We took the ball. Jeremy Wilhelm, as always, got us in good field position in order to start off the game. We're going to start off with our option play, one of our option plays that you see us run quite a bit. Josh actually pitches off of the wrong man, so we end up a guy short on the option, and Travis Susie is tackled on the pitch. We go to some of our short passing game. They were playing a little bit off us in coverage. We had a nice hitch play, to Mark Borger. We're going to come back after that, and this was, watch the left side of the line here. This was a key play for us, and I'll draw it up for you on the chalk talk. It's a power play to the outside. We get some great combination blocks by Devin Volsky coming off. We get a good kick out by John Morris, and Travis was able to bounce the ball to the outside and go about 60, 70 yards for a touchdown. Great way for us to start the game because we wanted to establish a running game on Dana, and like I said a little bit earlier, get them into the situation where they're going to be playing man coverage and see if we can go up top. So it was important for us to run the football early.
Start off on offense here with a little counter play, and down to our players, Mark Herbeck and Don Tomlinson. They then come back here with a little trap play. We thought it was illegal motion from the sidelines, but the officials thought differently. Danny Williams was able to step up there and make the play. They come back then on third down with a draw play. We've worked on retracing all week, and Doug Taverdi and again Mark Herbeck were in on that stop. They punt the ball here. I believe their punter was ranked first in the conference, did a very good job. Jeremy Wilhelm takes the punt. We'll call for illegal use of hands right there, and Jeremy gets dinged a little bit.
They try a little pass play back to the back, and we snuffed that out pretty well. Now they're going to go with the direct dive play. They go into the shotgun. They actually snap the ball to the running back and pretend like the quarterback has the ball. He just jumps over. Our defense came out and played a pretty good series. You'll see that was actually 2 series. We skipped an offensive series in there, and it was nice to see our defense kind of establish something. We're going to go back to the power on the left side. The linebackers flow a little bit too fast, and Travis cuts it back into the A-gap. Did a nice job. Here's something we haven't been able to do for a while is get outside. We were able to get outside on a toss play. Devin Volsky, wideout Brad Levine, John Morris made very good blocks there on the outside. We're going to go to a play off of our option, although this time we're giving it to the fullback, a guard kick-out play. You're going to see a touchdown play here, a long run on the outside. Again, great blocks by the three guys I mentioned before. There's a good stop by Mark Borcher. Our wideouts are blocking very well downfield, and that was a nice one for us. Because we missed the extra point, we go for two. Josh doesn't find anybody open, and he just decides to take it himself into the end zone. That's a good lead, 14-zip with 9:12 to go.
They start off throwing the ball here. They throw a pass to one of their good wide receivers, Mitchell. And then Andrew Doty's able to come in and make a good hit on Mitchell there. We want to try to limit him as much as possible. They run the direct snap again here to Chavez, their running back. The quarterback will fake like the ball snapped over his head. And this isn't a picture tackle by Andrew, not exactly the way it's drawn up, but he's able to get the job done there. They throw the ball again here in a 50s play, and again Andrew and Frank Jalbert are able to make the play, and they have to punt the ball away. The ball gets over Jeremy's head, and it's a touchback.
We're going to come back to the power play, keep running things off tackle. Travis cuts it back probably a little bit too far that time. He needs to stay a little bit more play side. Different type of option here. We're pulling the tackle rather than the guard. It's one of our speed option plays. Josh does a good job cutting it, getting downfield. We get a holding penalty on one of the wide receivers that backs it up a little bit. Now you're going to come see the first play of the second quarter. This is fun. We fake the option. Josh drops back, and Mark Borcher, the first of his several big catches on the day. Mark had a tremendous game for us. We were able to get behind their young secondary and hit them with the play-action pass. And right now we're feeling very comfortable, but we don't want to get too much in that comfort zone. Dana's got too good of an offense just to sit on the lead like that.
They kick off the ball here deep to Mitchell. We were kicking with the wind here, so we're able to get it pretty deep. And then Chad Kennemer and Salsley are able to come up and make the play, two of our good freshmen that we were able to recruit last year. They start off here with a 90 pass, which is a quick little three-step drop, and he throws the ball. Frank's able to make the play, but unfortunately he gets called for unnecessary roughness here for throwing the Dana player out of bounds.
That's the first time Frank ever had an unnecessary roughness.
They come back then with a G play, and Mark Wemhoff does an excellent job there of spilling that play to the two linebackers, Williams and Herbeck. They throw the ball, and Josh Reynolds is able to make a good tackle. I think Josh has really played well for us this year. Then they get them throw the ball, and Lance is able to pick it off. He's supposed to head for the numbers, but unfortunately he heads for the numbers on the wrong sideline. So as Coach Elf said, he ran about 60 yards and actually gained about 3.
Go back with the next offensive series, the G play again, the dive to the fullback, pulling the guard. They're overflowing a little bit on the option, so we give the ball inside to Johnny. He does a nice job. We don't get a score out of this drive. This was the second of only 2 punts on the day for our offense, to show you, Darren, kind of what an offensive day that we had. Good tackle by Josh Bartley down there, but Ryan Carlson had about a 55-yard average on his 2 punts. Really hit the ball well.
They start off here running a little G-toss. Their tackle holds our defensive end, but we're able to make the play there, Herbeck and Taverdi. They run another G-toss here, and I believe it's the same 2 players that make the play, Taverdi and Herbeck again. Mark has done an excellent job for us this year, and he continues to be one of our better players. They run a little draw out of the shotgun. Again, Mark makes the unassisted tackle there. Herbeck then is able to make the tackle for a loss. It's now 21-0. They run a little screen hitch pass out there to Chavez, and he gets a pretty good gain on that. They come back now, and I believe they run a draw next, right there, and I believe it's Sean Lorenzano and number 92, I'm sorry, that's able to make the play, Ensminger, excuse me, and then Frank's able to snuff that drive out with an interception on about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, you can see here what kind of game Dan is taking to us offensively. They're moving the football. Fortunately, we're able to make some plays. They're down at our end of the field, so it doesn't get in the end zone. Josh runs a G option play and gets the ball inside a little bit. We go to the air with our 3-step drop. Good catch and throw catch by Brad Levine. Run the toss play to the outside to Travis Susie again. Travis finished with 240-some yards, one of the best days we've ever had for a running back here. Second touchdown catch by Mark Forrester. Great throw. Mark's just a nice big receiver, has good speed, good leverage, and with that touchdown put us ahead 27-zip. We make the extra point. Ryan Carlson with the hold from Ryan Carr, snapped by Devin Volsky. The extra point team's doing very well. Make the extra point to make it 28-zip. Really in control of the ball game now. We just need to get out of this half with the score 28-zip.
They start to drive the ball on us a little bit here, and they throw a deep pass here to Carter, and you'll be able to see here he's quite the receiver, and as Coach Ells mentioned, they have probably two of the better receivers in Carter and Mitchell in the conference. We then come back, we run a blitz here, and we're able to get an interception. Brad Bailey is able to intercept that pass.
And there's that play that Coach Roberts was just talking about right there. And that would end the half for the Broncos as they go up 28-0 into the second half. But the first touchdown, one of Travis Susie's many on the day, also one of his yard gainers. Coach is going to talk about that power play off the left side.
That's right, and Darren, one of the things that Coach Merkowitz has brought to us is a play that we just call power, and I want to diagram that for you a little bit. Dana College sits in pretty much a 4-4 defense. We see a lot of this type of defense in our league. To get them outnumbered a little bit, we actually motioned this receiver across the formation. This was Brad Levine in this game, and we stop him there. You see we've created an unbalanced line. We have a guard and a tight end on this side. We have our two tackles here. In this play, we're working two offensive linemen against a defensive lineman and a linebacker. Case in point, we have our over tackle and our play side tackle are going to get pushed on this end, and depending on where the linebacker shows, one of them are going to come off and cut off this linebacker. We also do the same on the back side, down in here with the guard in the center. They're working this combination, get pushed, one of them come off and take care of those linebackers. So we get all four of these kids taken care of. Now what we're doing on the play side, as with this guy coming in motion this direction, we're looking for somebody to kick out. Now what Dana will do, because we're going unbalanced, is they'll bring this cornerback over with the motion. Well, we have two guys to take care of these two here. We get a nice block by Brad Levine going up here to this guy, and then the fullback is going to lead up through and kick out the corner that's coming across. We simply give it to Travis then off this combination block, and he's able to hit it through the outside. We get a very good stop by the wide receiver. Again, the free safety we can't account for. We can't get him. But Travis does a good job with the stiff arm and takes it all the way. We cannot run this play if we don't get a good combination block here up to this linebacker and a good combination block here to this linebacker, and those four kids did a great job for us.
Well, it looked like it worked great for you that first series. Let's go ahead and go into the second half highlights.
Travis Carlson ends up kicking the ball here. Did a great job for us, and we've had excellent coverage all year out of that kickoff team. Travis Carlson, one of our seniors, is able to make the tackle there on Mitchell. Mitchell earned his money returning kicks this last week. They start to run the zone play on us with their freshman running back from Hawaii, and they run it here pretty well. They run it about 4 or 5 times at us. I believe Frank Jalbert makes a tackle here. It's a very simple play, and to be honest with you, we really didn't do a very good job in adjusting to it. All of a sudden, they put the ball on the ground, and Lance Bailey is able to recover that fumble, and that was a real drive killer for them.
Well, as we like to do, anytime you get a sudden change, we want to go up top. Sometimes the defense is disappointed they're out there. You usually don't get any type of pressure. We go up over the top, and Mark makes a nice catch off our play-action pass. Again, he had a great evening. We're going to roll out. Watch the catch on the top part of your screen. Matt Pitts makes a great sideline catch. Gets 1 foot down to keep the drive alive as we're getting ready to score here again. We run the toss play outside. You get a good look at number 7, Johnny Morris. Should cut a guy. Doesn't get him. He should, though. Travis Susie gets a little bit on the outside. Now we're going to hit Johnny inside. Ball comes out. What do you have with the fumble or fall on it in the end zone? Boy, is he lucky there. Later on, you'll see we don't get that fortunate, but that's a nice drive by our offense. Dana had moved the ball deep into our territory, and we probably took that thing about 70 or 80 yards. There's a good look at the crowd. Boy, that was nice, folks. That was a great crowd. Our kids appreciate that. If we can keep that up, that's going to help us win a lot of ball games.
Ryan Carlson on another kickoff. Again, we're kicking with the wind here, so he's able to get it pretty deep, and they elect for the touchback there. We start off here up 35-0. They come out, they throw the ball to number 21, Mitchell, and you'll get an idea here about how elusive he can be. Really not a very good job of tackling by us, but he is an extremely elusive runner. They then come back, they continue to throw the ball, and our secondary did a great job again here. Lance Bailey's able to pick that pass off, and that kills another big drive by Dana.
Coach mentioned Josh Reynolds. Lance Bailey's had a great senior year for us also, a 3-year starter. He had 2 interceptions on this game. Turnover, sudden change, boom, go deep. This time we go to Brad Levine. The offensive line is protecting very well. Dana stayed in the man coverage. I don't really understand why, but I guess they weren't worried about it. Watch Devin Volsky's blocking the end zone here. Very nice. All right, we run a power play to the outside, the play I just drew up. That's what you call a combo. Devin's awful happy, number 76 in the end zone there. And that was one that I think really hurt them. We got that down there in good field position in a hurry, and then we were just able to out-physical Dana into the end zone, 42-0, and we're just getting the third quarter started. Things are looking good right now for us.
Another kickoff with the win by Ryan Carlson. Another good job of coverage here by our kickoff team, and Ryan Carr and Wemhoff are able to tackle Mitchell. They try a little play from the gun here, and Phil Willey's able to make a good play for us there. Phil's from Sterling. They then throw a little 90 pass, a little quick pass, and Josh Reynolds makes the play here. Again, Josh has had a great year and has done a good job of breaking on those balls and limiting the gain of the offensive receivers. They're continuing to throw the ball here, even though they had quite a bit of success running the zone on us on the last series. They throw a 50 pass here, which is a 5-step drop out of the gun, and they're going to hit Mitchell right down that seam, and that's tough to cover, and it was just a well-thrown pass, and there's sometimes not much you could do about that. We're able to come back in here, and Gary Ensminger makes a couple of big plays there. He's able to knock down a pass, and the play previous to that, Gary was the player that tripped up the quarterback. They run a screen play here, or swing play, and Mark Herbeck is able to make the play and snuff that out and force them to punt the ball.
Jeremy's back returning this one. We really didn't get a lot of pressure on the punter. I think Dana does a good job in their protection. We tried something new in our punt return. You see us set up the wall. Unfortunately, the kicker, for some reason, just kept kicking away from the wall, so we never got a chance to do much there. Going to come back with a counter play. Dan Lowther with a great kick-out block. You see in the middle of your screen, guy down on the ground. I don't know if he did get up, and he was able to spring Travis loose on a long run. I think Travis is a little tired now. Again, you run for 240 yards and keep getting beat up like that, you're going to be tired, but that was a nice run and a nice block by Dan. We go with our option play. Josh tries to get in the end zone, gets down to about the 6. You're going to see a replay now almost of Johnny Morris's fumble. This time it's Steve Schmidt, but unfortunately this time we don't fall on the darn football. That's one of the things Darren and I was upset with. We didn't take care of the ball. I know Bo fumbled and Travis fumbled and Steve fumbled, and we got to do it. We fumbled a snap. We got to do a better job of taking care of the football, because in a tight game that can cost you.
They get the ball back, and again, they go back to that zone play that they had some success with in the first half, and on that particular play, I believe that's Ryan Carr making the tackle. They've got it figured out when they've got a good thing going here, so they're just going to run it in the other direction now. Again, it's the same play. It's just man-on-man play, and Carr and Reynolds make the play there. They come back and run the same play again. The running back cuts it back, and Mark Herbeck makes the play. They then change things up a little bit, try to run a trap here, and Doug Taverdi and Ryan Jacobs were able to step in and stop that. They have a good march here. They're able to get down and score in the quarterback sneak, and I believe that's the first touchdown that's been scored on our goal line unit. They come back and run the bootleg. We get good pressure from Mark Herbeck, and the quarterback throws it out of bounds.
Kind of disappointed in that drive, but here we ran a hitch and go. They kept playing man coverage. Again, they kept giving Mark that one-on-one relationship, so we run a little hitch and go. Josh with the pump fake hit Mark down the sideline to get us in good field goal position again. This time on your left side of the screen, you'll see the guard pull, the tackle and tight end come down. Our G play on the outside, Johnny hits up there in the hole, gets it down to the 7. We weren't able to put this ball in the end zone, but it's nice to have a kicker like we have in Ryan Carlson to start off the fourth quarter, was able to kick a field goal and put us ahead 45-6. Again, a good drive by the offense. We ended up with 733 yards on the day, which is almost 170 yards more than the school record. And you can just see big play after big play after big play really helped us get to that mark.
We're kicking the ball into the wind now, and it was a pretty stiff wind, so we decided to squib it. And that was Rick Ostick on the play. The defense was in for 3 plays, held them. They punted the ball, and Jeremy Wilhelm's back on the punt again. We had the wall set up, and they kicked that away from our wall.
For the second week in a row, we were able to play a lot of kids that have worked awful hard. You'll see Chris Kluver, 17, make, I think, 2 runs in a row. Here's his second. Kid runs tough. He's hard to bring down. Not the fastest player in the world, but he's hard to bring down. Derek Rusher, who we have a lot of confidence in at quarterback, runs the option play very well. We come back and we run a couple isolation plays. We're rotating fullbacks in. Dustin Hedke's playing here quite a bit. But we run 2 isolation plays. We're just going to isolate right at that linebacker in the middle of your screen. And Chris breaks 2 tackles to get into the end zone. That's a nice score when those guys have worked that hard for them to be able to get some quality playing time under some adverse conditions of as far as, a good time in the game. It's not just the end of the fourth quarter. There's a lot of time left, and we got a lot of kids some reps.
Mark Jellin is now kicking off for us, and he kicks the ball deep to Mitchell, and another good coverage job by our kick coverage team. This is a bit of a cutback play by Danley. We were over pursued there, the linebackers, and this is a good young kid from St. Ed, Nebraska, and Jake Stutzman really works hard and gets over the top, and I believe that's O'Donnell there that also did a great job of pursuing on that, and we worked very hard on that. That's just another zone play. Then they run a little dive dump here. They fake the dive to the fullback and run a little dump pass to the tight end, and that sucks. The dive pass sucks the linebackers up, and then we're forced into man coverage, and Tishon isn't able to make the play.
We're really disappointed now in some of the kids that were playing on the defensive side of the ball, not the offense, the defense. We start putting our 2s and 3s in, and Dana just marches the ball down on us, and that's not good to see. We need to establish better depth there. The outside trap play again to our fullback, Steve Schmidt. Pretty good position for him. We run the toss play on the outside. Jeremy Palco gets some repetitions. And again, here's another player that's played very sparingly for us, but he did a good job coming in. You'll see the toss play now to our right as you're looking at it. Good. A lot of young kids playing in there. Keith Beckman, Nick Kidd. There's a lot of young players. You see Chad Bertine there who has played quite a bit for us. We run the trap play back inside. Mitch Wagner, another kid, probably our 4th or 5th fullback, but getting a lot of repetitions. Then Brandon Duggan, St. Cecilia's finest, in there for the touchdown. It's nice to get the local guys a touchdown. That was a good play by Brandon. We get the extra point and put the cap on it.
59-13, the final score. That takes the Broncos to 4-0 overall, 1-0 in their conference. And this year is a special season for the Broncos, as it is. They play their last home games here at Ace Jones Stadium this year, if everything goes to plan. Being as it is, we decided to talk to some Broncos from past years. This week we talked to Benny Kengrove. Let's talk to him. We talked to him earlier. Let's take a look.
What is the most memorable moment that you have for playing here at Hastings College?
Well, I had a lot of good memories, just the camaraderie of playing with different types of players here and players from all over different states. But for myself, there was a couple of times, that when I ran a kickoff back against Kearney State for 73 yards. My freshman year, I ran a kickoff back against Peru State. Unfortunately, we lost that game. But I guess one that I do recall was my freshman year. We beat Doane, and this was 3-0 by a field goal. And that was the last time that Doane had been beaten for a long time, and Hastings was the next one to beat them. And they went on a streak for about 4 or 5 seasons being undefeated.
After stepping onto Hastings College campus now, what are some of the immediate changes that you see as opposed to when you played back in 64, 65?
Well, I guess the first thing, when I come to a ball game now, the number of players that you have, you look and you see about 125, 30 ball players, suited up. And when we played back in the 60s, we only had about between 35 and 50 ball players out. So at that time, we had quite a few of us that were going on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
We was looking through your 1966 annual, and we saw you running the football back. Could you elaborate a little bit about that play and what was going on at that time of the game?
Well, this is what I referred to a little bit earlier there, that this was against Brew. It was the opening kickoff, and I caught it on the north end and started up the middle, cut to the left, and ran up the left sideline. That was our only 6 points that we got the whole game, though. So it's a picture in the paper, but you'd rather have the victory than things like that.
If Coach Dales was to give you an opportunity to talk to the team today about when you played 64 and playing the game of football, what were some of the things that you would want those guys to take with you as memories, like you took on, to help you that you go back and think about now for the rest of your life? What are some of the things that you want those guys to take with them to get from this football?
Well, always know that anytime that you step on the field that you want to be fully prepared, both physically and mentally, that you want to give 100% of yourself, not only for yourself, but for the team and for the college. Knowing that you've got a lot of guys out there that are working for you and helping you out, and the camaraderie that you have. And I guess most of all, that when you step away from football and step away from Hastings College, that you will know that you've got a great education coming to a school like this.
That was Benny Congrove, also a familiar face here in Hastings. We'll go to some other NIAC scores from last week now.
I'll tell you what, Darren, the conference is going to be a heck of a conference. There's one that we're obviously interested in. Concordia College, our opponent this week, lost to Northwestern by 7 in a good game. Doan's playing well, got after Westland 33-12. Doan had to throw the football to do that. They've been the leading rushing team in the conference. Huron's a heck of a school, and Concordia beat them. A heck of a team, and Concordia beat them. Now, Midland played them fairly close, 41-26, as you see. So we're awful concerned about Concordia.
Okay, one final note before we close the show. Coach, why don't you talk about Concordia going in next week here?
Concordia is a better team defensively than Dana was, and we're a little bit concerned. Even though they run the same type of defensive package, I think right now they're doing it with better people because they're older. Offensively, they're very good. They have all 11 starters back. They run a wing T type of an offense. You're going to see a lot of misdirection. We better be disciplined on defense.
Okay. Well, with that said, we want to say special thanks to Coach Ian Roberts, for Ian Roberts, and Coach Ross Ells. I'm Darren Zier. Thanks for joining us tonight. See you next week.